Great. So my name is Cullen Gray, and my role in the production of Brian Clowdus Experiences, the Christmas Carol experience, is that I'm writing the text. So I'm the playwright for the process.
Awesome. Now, it seems kind of interesting that you do playwright for the text because this is a very old play and been done many times. Kind of tell us what you guys do to it that makes it kind of unique. I know that you guys normally do really unique productions on site, on location at different venues all over the city. So kind of tell us what your spin that you're putting on the Christmas Carol this year.
Yeah, so we're very particular in using the word experiences with Brian Clowdus Experiences because that is kind of essentially what it is. You're not coming into this home to see a play. You're coming to experience a Christmas Carol. So we kind of take the text and we spin it on its head, and we do it in this historic home in Atlanta called the Wrens Nest. And we use all the rooms to represent the different spirits, and you're kind of following the show through the house. And, maybe at times you diverge from the central story and you go explore the rest of the house. You read through letters that are maybe love letters left in one of the rooms, or you kind of walk around. And so it's kind of a choose your own adventure sort of a play. And so it's much different from the kind of text that you would experience a normal Christmas Carol stage production to be. And it's kind of this cool, creepy, we like to refer to it as the darkest Christmas Carol yet. And it's kind of cool where you get to kind of choose your own path and walk through the house and experience the story rather than watch it unfold on stage.
Wow. So it sounds like it sounds like it has a potential to be a kind of interactive play. Do you add those kind of elements into play as well?
Yeah. So it wouldn't be a Christmas Carol if there wasn't any caroling. And so there are several times in the show that the actors break into song and they sing some carols. And there are times in which they ask the audience members to sing along. And we kind of are going through this approach that the story all spurns out of the funeral of Jacob Marley, who was Ebenezer Scrooge's longtime business partner. And so you kind of come into this funeral home. We have it open for the entire pre-show where you come in and there's a casket hanging out. And so, yeah, it's kind of this weird, you feel like you're a part of the story, that you can kind of wander around and take part. And of course, there are scenes happening around you that you're not directly active in or a player in. However, you feel like you're kind of witnessing the story evolve all around you.
Wow. It always amazed me that you guys would do these on-site location productions. I know the Wrens Nest, I'm kind of familiar with it. How are you guys able to navigate the different audiences in that space?
Yeah, that's a little tricky and something that I kind of figure out a little bit more every single day. So the last production Brian Clowdus Experiences did there was the Edgar Allan Poe experience for Halloween, which I was personally not involved with. And I was working on another Halloween production at the time at Symphony, so I wasn't actually able to see it. And so as a writer, that's been my biggest challenge, has been figuring out how exactly an audience lives in the house and how exactly the story travels from room to room. And so essentially we kind of play with this idea that there are some scenes that we do more than once so that people can kind of cycle through and watch them. There are some scenes that we bring everybody into this big main room for. And so as a writer, it's been interesting to me kind of figuring out, okay, there's going to be some dead space between some of these scenes because we have to kind of have people move in and out of these rooms. And so a big way that we've accomplished tackling that is through the use of music. So in transition moments where we can't have some scenes going on, we bring in lots of music. Our cast is 5 people, which is another big challenge, figuring out how to tell this huge story with such a small group of actors. But they're also all very talented musicians. And so they all play instruments in the show. They all sing. And so in those moments where we find that it's a little difficult to have scenes going on because we're trying to move people in and out of rooms so everyone can witness the experience, we use music as a way to kind of keep the audience engaged, keep the life of the story moving.
Wow. So it sounds like it requires a lot of creativity to kind of work around the parameters of doing it on a live set. Would you say that is one of your biggest challenges trying to put it on production like this in a location like that? Or is there another thing?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest challenges, and definitely the most inspiring thing is it's very cool because a lot of the time that I'm writing, I'm in the rehearsal room, and even tonight I'm going to go and we're going to be doing some staging, and I'm going to be sitting on my laptop writing in the corner of the room. So it's challenging having to walk around and kind of understand how these scenes will move through these rooms of the house, but at the same time, it's very exciting to me because the work that I do is outside of Brian Clowdus Experiences. I also work for Symphony Playhouse, and we do everything outside. And so the cool challenge is how do you fit this in the great outdoors? And here it is, how do you contain this into these rooms? and their layout. And so for me, that is kind of the most exciting aspect, is that I don't get to, I'm not playing on a stage here. I'm playing with an entire house. And so how can we use these rooms and make them work to our advantage is definitely the biggest challenge, but it's also the thing that I find most enjoyable.
Wow. I forgot to ask you. So how long does this production run, and when does it start?
So we open in little less than a week on Wednesday, December 12th, and we run through December 30th.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
Awesome.
we started rehearsing also in this past week. So it's been a bit of a fast and furious process.
Now, you mentioned that you also work with Cerebree Playhouse. Are you also doing a production simultaneous with them because I know they do a lot of Christmas productions as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so I am actually, which is right before this. I came from a production of The Snow Queen. So for Singer-Songwriter Playhouse, I'm one of the acting apprentices for the year. So I moved down here in May to Atlanta, and I'm here all through until next May working with the Playhouse. And then hopefully after that, I'll stay in Atlanta, keep doing work with the Playhouse and Brian Clowdus Experiences. But I'm an actor as well as a writer. And so I like right before this, I wiped off my stage makeup and got myself ready for this interview, because I'm currently in a production of The Snow Queen right now, which is a children's show running through January 6th at the Playhouse.
Nice. Now, being an actor and a playwright, is there any particular one of those that you find a little bit more satisfying than the other at this stage, or what's your ultimate goal as a artist in this industry?
Yeah, that's kind of a tricky question. It really depends project to project. Because, I as an actor, you kind of, especially as a young actor, because I'm 23, you kind of, starting your career fresh out of college, you don't have a lot of opportunity to pick and choose your projects. You're more like, who's going to cast me, and you'll take whatever. And so that's kind of interesting, is that as a writer, every project I kind of set on, for the most part, are all projects that I personally am super invested in. And I've been very lucky in my work that everything I've done at Singer-Songwriter Playhouse has also been super invested for me. So right now, that's a tricky question for me, because I'm at a level playing field for both of them. But my goal in the end game is I would like to essentially be in my work. So whether that's I'm directing work that I'm writing, or I'm performing work that I'm writing, I guess I'll kind of see. But at the end of the day, I want to keep writing, and I want to produce my own content however possible.
Yeah, I love it when I hear people say they want to create original works.
Yeah.
Not only is that a good way to keep yourself employed,
Yeah.
but it also adds to the vitality of the art scene. Having original pieces in. Everybody loves the good standards and stuff, but in order to be a forward-moving city, you got to have people innovating and creating new stuff. So I encourage you highly to keep that going.
Great, well, thank you. And yeah, moving from DC, that was a big thing that drew me into Atlanta, is that the new works seen in Atlanta is incredible. And so is the one in DC, and that's why when I was graduating college, it was a big question of, do I stay here, or do I move to New York, or do I move to Atlanta? And I ultimately decided on Atlanta because, in part, because the new work opportunity is just so expansive.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We may not have all the arts that New York has, but we can beat them on cost of living.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And then also, I studied both theater and I studied digital video and cinema. And so Atlanta also has that New York and DC don't, is that there's a ton of film work down here as well.
Right. So we caught us another one down here. That's great. Well, welcome to Atlanta. And we are looking forward to checking out your upcoming production of Christmas Carol at the Wrens Nest. Now that you've written is this your first play you've written as a professional, or?
Yes. So I have had a few full-length plays workshopped at my university. I went to James Madison University, Virginia. Go Dukes! But this will be my professional premiere as a playwright. Yes.
All right. So Atlanta gets your premiere production. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to checking it out. So for those who are kind of sitting on the fence about coming and watching your production, kind of give us the reason why they should come check out the show.
Yeah, well, for some people who get a bit too anxious sitting in a theater in a chair the whole time, that is exactly what you will not be doing at our production of Christmas Carol. It is very innovative. It is very hands-on. You will be walking through the house and exploring. And I think that's what's most exciting about it to me as a theater goer, is that it's something that you've never seen before. And so that, especially as a writer, I'm always interested in, well, what is an experience that I personally don't have? And this is that. It's something that will, as a Christmas Carol, it'll warm your heart, it'll fill you with some Christmas cheer, and it'll be a theater experience unlike any that you've ever had before.
All right. So make sure you guys come out and support Cullen's premiere production. And also, Cullen, for those who may be interested in purchasing tickets, what's the best way to do so?
So you can go to the Wrens Nest website. Also, if you look up Brian Clowdus Experiences, there's tons of links online. There's both Facebook pages for both of those and Instagram accounts with tons of links.
All right. And thank you very much. Any other final words you want to mention?
Come check us out. And Merry Christmas. And as Tiny Tim says in A Christmas Carol, God bless us, everyone.
There you have it. Thank you. Thank you, Cullen. I appreciate it.
But yeah, thank you.